Hello, I am Preeta Prasid. Welcome to the topic of parallel database systems. In last video, we discussed about different database architectures, that is parallel centralized database systems, web services, client server architecture. So here we are discussing about different types of parallel database systems and the implementation factors of parallel database systems. This is the history of parallel databases, and the reason for developing parallel database system is that is there are a lot of problems with the centralized database systems. That is, if there is huge amount of data, it will be difficult to manage the data, as well as the network traffic issues and the transactional problems. So to avoid that, the parallel database systems evolved, and the reason for evolving parallel database system is there were already the relational data model was brought a revolution, so it was easy to migrate, and as well as there was in past mainframes and workstations were used for the transactional processing task. So there are two types, pipeline parallelism and partition parallelism. So pipeline parallelism, that is streaming the output of one operator into the output of another operator. The image you can see, it is pipeline, that is the output of one operator is given as the input of other operator. Partition parallelism, so here the task is given to the multiple processors, and they will be processing that data independently and finally combining the task result to get the final output. That is partition parallelism. So why parallel databases? So the parallel database, already I told that the reason is the huge amount of data is there, so it is expected to have the huge data bandwidth, and again, and the cheap cost for the processors, and infinite memory is available. So that will be the ideal machine. It is not possible practically speaking. So the parallel databases evolved. Nowadays the processor and memory little bit cost reduced. So the challenge is to build an infinitely fast processor out of infinitely many processors of finite speed, and to build an infinite large memory with infinite memory bandwidth from infinitely many storage units of finite speed. So the answer to this challenge is parallel database. So this is the image of parallel database system. So here you can see different users accessing the data from the shared processor, shared memory and shared data storage, and they are communicating through the intercommunication channel. Parallel database implementation. So there are two parallel database implementation techniques. One is speed up and the another one is scale up. So speed up, that is elapsed time on uniprocessor divided by elapsed time on multiprocessor. It means that is the time taken to complete the task on single processor divided by time taken by the multiprocessor for completing the task. For example, in single processor, the single task may be taking 10 minutes. In multiprocessor, the single task may be taking 1 minute. That is 10 by 1. We will be getting the value as 10. So we can say the speed up will be linear. So that is the proportion. So you can see on the y-axis it is speed up, and on the x-axis it is resources. So linear speed up it will be proportional, and if it is below the expectation, then we can say it is sublinear speed up, and it is more than the expectation, then it will be the superlinear speed up. So the performance improvement gained because of extra processing elements added running a given task in less time by increasing the degree of parallelism. Next, it is scale up. So linear scale up, the ability to maintain the same level of performance when both the workload and resources are proportionally added. So the ratio is, that is the time taken on small system for the task and time taken on the larger system of multiprocessor of huge task. So for example, that is the small system, the single task is taking 10 seconds, and for the 10 task in multiprocessor it is taking 10 seconds. So 10 divided by 10, the scale up will be 1. Then we can say it is linear scale up. That is, as per the workload, the number of processors are increased. So the scale up will be linear. it is database performance measures. There are two performance measures, throughput and response time. So throughput, the number of tasks that can be completed in a given time interval. Response time, the amount of time it takes to complete a single task from the time it is submitted. So factors, here it is the parallel database implementation on the basis of scale up, that is batch and transactional. In case of the batch, that is the same query running on n times larger database, and transactional, it will be that is many clients and submitting many queries and many larger n times larger database. So it is well suited for the parallel execution. And here it is showing the factors limiting speed up and scale up. There are three factors: startup cost, interference and skew. Startup cost means for execution, if we are depending upon the parallel processors, different processors, so the startup time for the multiple processor to dominate computational time. So this is called as startup cost. Interference, that is processors access shared resources. You have seen in that image, that is shared bus, shared disk, logs and all. So they will be competing each other for getting the shared resources. That is called as interference. And skew, by definition, it is overall execution time determined by the slowest of parallelly executing task. It means, for example, if for completing one task, if there are 5 processors and one of the processor, because of some problems, it's getting slower to complete the task, so overall execution time is depending upon that slowest processor. So it is called as skew. So parallelism in databases. So it is possible, how it is possible is explained over here. So data can be partitioned across multiple disks for the parallel input output operation, and individual relational operations like sort, join, aggregation can be executed in parallel, and queries are expressed in high level language like SQL, so it will be making the parallelization easier, and different queries can be run in parallel with each other. So parallel database issues are two, that is data partitioning issue. It means how to partition the data for processing and to avoid the skew, and parallel query processing. So it means how to optimize the query for processing parallel. Here we are starting with the parallel database architectures. So 4 architectures are there: shared memory architecture, shared disk architecture, shared nothing architecture, and hybrid hierarchical architecture. So shared memory, that is the name itself, all processors share a common main memory and secondary memory. So the advantage is load balancing is easy, but the bus contention may be the problem, because for accessing the memory, every processor is competing with each other for getting the availability of bus. Shared disk, that is all processor, each of which has its own local main memory, share the disk. So what will be the advantages in shared memory architecture? That is, the implementation is simple because only single memory, and the effective communication because only the single memory space the data is to be accessed. And the drawback will be, that is, if there is high degree of parallelism, cannot be achieved due to the reason that all the processors share the same interconnection network to connect with memory. So this cause the bottleneck, that is called as interference, so especially in the case of bus interconnection network. And if we are adding more processor for increasing the parallelism, then it will be slow down the process. So here we can say in shared memory architecture, the degree of parallelism is limited. So this is shared memory and shared disk architecture representation. So in shared disk architecture, what will be the advantages? That is, here in shared disk architecture, we have seen here in this image, that is different processor have its own local memory, only disk is shared. But the advantage will be that if failure of any of the processor is happening, it will not stop the entire system, that is fault tolerance can be achieved. But the another advantage, interconnection to the memory is not a bottleneck, because there is local memory available, so whenever the data is required it can be stored on the local memory. And the large number of processors, shared memory, compared to shared memory we can add multiple processors. And the disadvantage is that is interconnection to the disk, for example intercommunication process. So if one processor need the data from the memory of the local memory of another processor, so it will be the slowest process and it required additional software support. And this one is shared nothing architecture. This is the most commonly used architecture in distributed database management system. So here each processor has its own local memory, and the load balancing will be the difficult task over here, because it may not happen that one processor is having higher load and the another processor is having limited load. So that is the only problem in shared nothing architecture. So the advantages of shared nothing architecture, that is the number of processor used here is scalable, that is the design is flexible to add more computers because we have to add the processor, memory and the disk. So unlike other two architectures, data requests which cannot be answered by the local processor need to be forwarded through interconnection network. And the drawback is that so non-local disk access are costly. That is, if one server receives the request, if the required data is not available, so the rerouting is required. So it will be slightly complex task over there, and the communication cost involved in transporting data among computers. So that is another drawback. So this is the another architecture, hierarchical. It is the combination of the three, that is shared memory, shared nothing and shared disk architecture. So what are the advantages of parallel database architecture? And here it is given the architecture revised, that is processor share a common memory in shared memory, shared disk, processor share a common disk, shared nothing, processor shares neither a common memory nor common disk. Hierarchical hybrid, hierarchical means it is the combination of the above three architectures. And these are the goals of the parallel database. So it will be improving the performance, improve the availability of data through the fault tolerance and improve reliability, and the distributed data access is provided through the shared nothing architecture. So these are the goals of parallel databases. And here it is showing about the one thing we have seen, that is the issues within the parallel database is data partitioning and parallelizing the query. So for partitioning we have to it is to be decided that how the data is to be partitioned. So there are two types of partitioning possible, that is horizontal fragmentation and vertical fragmentation. So here horizontal fragmentation means that is it will be including all the rows, only thing is through the particular value we will be partitioning the data. For example, here if we are considering in college there is two departments, MCA and MBA. So if we have to partition if we have to get different fragments, that is MCA students in one fragment and MBA students in another fragment. So the query can be like select star from the students where department equal to department name. So the MCA department students all details will be in one fragment and MBA department students will be in another fragment. So if one query is coming for the MCA department, the another fragment will not be involved in the process. And vertical fragmentation, in case of horizontal fragmentation, that is the schema will be same, only the number of rows may be varying. But in case of vertical fragmentation, the schema will be different. So here the example we can say vertical fragmentation means the columns we will be considering. So if we are looking into the student table, that is if I have student personal information in one fragment and student academic information in another fragment, so they will be related through the key, that is foreign key primary key concept. So the schema will be different for the vertical fragmentation. So that's all from this part. In next video let's see about the IO parallelism in parallel database architecture. Thank you.